Hello everyone and welcome back to Crash Bandicoot on the Sony PlayStation 1. I am One Wild Sheep and today we're going to enter the high road. And I proceed instantly by heading into the low road by falling. Now when you first start off this level, if you look up behind you, there's actually a hidden area with a bunch of boxes and hidden lives, and this is very easy to miss. So if you're going for the gems, good luck, because I don't think many people really think to look behind them. A lot of people are probably don't go into this with the insomniac mentality, as I like to call it, where they hide things behind you, and Naughty Dog only really ever do this once or twice ever. So yeah, I guess I'm not too fussed. But the major gimmick with this road level, as opposed to the previous road level that we've seen, is the fact we have to do a lot of our platforming on these turtles. You need to bounce off each turtle, boop off them, head to the next platform, boop off the other one, head to the next platform, and etc, etc. And it is awfully frustrating to pull off properly. I'm not going to lie. This is not an easy stage. It really isn't. Compared to the last one, compared to this, actually was nothing. This is like 18 times harder than the previous level. So yeah, if you didn't like the last Road to Nowhere level, you're not gonna like this one. Basically, this kind of reminds me of Super Mario Bros. 2, The Lost Levels, and there's one level in that game where you're meant to bounce off these springs and you have pretty much no idea whether you're gonna survive or not. You have no idea if you're gonna land properly. This stage reminds me a lot about that stage, and basically I died way too many times in this level. I'm actually looking at how many edits I've made in the actual editing software right now, and let's just say there's more than 15, at least 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's about more than 10 edits in this one level. That is how much I died. Or is it? Actually, no, I can't have died that much. Wait, what are these edits for then? Unless I kept gaining lives whenever. Ah, must have been the case. Anyway, that was a pathetic death. Whenever you're bouncing off of these turtles, you're gonna want to hold down the X button. If you hold down the X button, then you'll jump higher. So you hold down the X button, jump as high as you can, and get to the next platform. And if you're wondering why I have like no lives right now compared to last time, it's not like I got game over or anything, because I didn't, believe it or not. Basically, I used up a password system. Basically, I used the password to get to this point because I didn't save the game properly. So that's why my lives are like 0. I don't think the lives save when you save the game either, so it's kind of like a Mario issue where you load up the game and suddenly, oh, 50 lives, so they're gone now. Which is very annoying. But anyway, if you want to gain an extra life as well, which I recommend, just jump up on here and grab it by here quickly first. Basically, I'm lucky enough that this stage is very fortunate in giving me so many extra lives, because stuff like this happens so often where suddenly, oh, explosive! Okay, I'm nowhere near the explosive, but it's going to kill me anyway, so. Basically, things like this happen all the time. Very annoying stage, very agitating to get through. So, all you really need is patience. A lot of patience. This is a lot slower paced a lot more slower paced than the previous road level as well, so. Of course, fortunately though, about halfway to 3/4 through, you do get access to a bonus stage which gives you an extra checkpoint. Because the checkpoints are the checkpoints are less harsh in the road levels compared to what they are in most other levels, but, I can see some people having issues. And I don't know, what was going through my mind then? Why did I try and jump down? Ugh, Christ. I made some silly maneuvers looking back, I must admit. But yeah, nothing much more to say about the stage. It's just the same as the other road level, apart from there's a bunch of turtles to bounce off. Watch out for the ice. The ice can throw you off because there are ice physics. They're not really that bad, though. They're not as bad as, say, Mario Bros. 2, where the ice physics is just so bad you just slip off the platform without any control. The ice is barely noticeable, I'll be honest with that. But anyway, now we're heading into the slippery climb. And this is what I consider the hardest level in the entire game. And there's two reasons why. The first reason is the fact that it's flat out difficult. You need to... Basically, if you make a single mistake, you're gone. You lost your lives. But the other issue is mainly because they are very, very reservatives. Reservatives? They don't use the checkpoints that much, that's all. That's it. So basically, you won't see a checkpoint for another 5 minutes. That is how bad this level is with checkpoints. And as a result, if you fall, you'll either die or you'll have to redo an old platforming challenge yet again. So this stage is just stupidly hard. And no, what am I doing? Okay, good. I'm having heart attacks watching myself play. Although I shouldn't, I have edited out a lot of stuff, so there's although I didn't edit that out. But yeah, this stage is an absolute nightmare. On my old LP of this game, actually, this stage took me about 3 parts worth of videos to actually get through without the editing, so I'm happy that I did it. I didn't do it too badly in this one. The main key to succeeding in this particular stage is actually just going slow. And like I said, there are castle type themes now, and this is one of them. We have to climb up all this castle. It's got lots of water dripping. It's actually got quite a bit of nice attention to detail with a lot of things in the environment here. It's very epic. It's very foreboding, shall I say? So very difficult stage though. It's kind of, this stage is basically the proof that we're reaching the final segment of the game. And I think there is only this is the only stage like this in the entire game. There was a second one planned to be put into the game. It was, and you can access the one that was planned through like action replay codes or Game Genie, whatever the cheat software you can get these days is called. But the reason why that was never actually added into the final game and why you can't access it normally is because it was considered too difficult for players. And a lot of people have said, I haven't played it myself, but a lot of people said it's the hardest game level out of everything in this game, so I'm kind of glad it's not in the final product. But I digress, let's just continue climbing upwards. Remember, if you fall by here, chances are you will have to redo quite a lot of the level. This is a very long level, it's a very tricky and slippery climb. And basically this tests every platforming skill we have gained up until this point. So you just need to be extremely quick and you just need to really time everything. You can't have a break for a second on certain sections because otherwise you're going to fall. You also need to be patient as well because you have to time jumps. So it's really awkward. It's a very frustrating experience to deal with. The stage is just frustrating. I don't mind it though. When you get through the frustrating parts, it can be fun. But it's 90% frustrating parts, so I really don't like this level. It's probably my least favourite in the entire game. I mean, the platforming as a whole is actually well done, but it's so very strict. There's not many checkpoints. I think there's only like 2 checkpoints in this entire level. So hope you guys are ready to do a lot of platforming, because it is rather slippery. But yeah, we are heading up into the final segment of the game, as I said before. There's only 1 part left after this. And, oh, I had a heart attack. It's like my heart jumped out of my chest. It was like, oh god, no, nope, I'm out of here. But we are pretty much at the end of the stage now. You'll know you're at the end of the stage whenever you reach the top of the actual castle and you can see the top of the building. But you do still need to be careful even at the top, because you still need to progress all the way to the right of the actual castle itself. So basically, in a way, we're going left, going up, then going right in some sort of square bracket. So progression. Although I do not like these platforms, and you have to actually bounce on these birds to get by. And we're about to reach a segment where we're actually meant to bounce off about 3 birds in a row, I think. And that's some Super Mario Bros. Lost Level stuff right there. You know, the game that Westerners didn't get originally because Japan thought it was too hardcore. Yeah, it's hard. And of course, will I succeed this one? Does it really beg a question? Of course I don't. But anyway, we're getting so close to the end now. It's really, you can just feel the finality of everything. But of course, Again, tricky level. Probably, I think this is the longest level in the game as well. It's not much to even explain. That's the problem with it. It's just, if this level does go on a bit too long, if it was reduced to about half of the actual length it normally takes, then it would be not too bad a stage. But no, it's just way too long. But fortunately, they do give you some extra lives to compensate for possibly days of frustration at the very top. So there's that. But hey, we're back to the map, and now what are we going to do? We're going to the next stage, which is Lights Out. So, as you can guess by the title of the stage, the major gimmick in this level is the lights are out. Which, actually no, that's a brutal light, it's a bunch of candles around. But, the big thing is, you have literally no light sources at all. There's candles around, but they don't actually give you a light source. So what's going on here then? Well, basically your BaaaaAAAHHhh mask actually doubles as a light. So whenever you pick up the BaaaaAAAHHhh mask power up, which normally gives you like an extra hit point and damage, you will instead gain, you'll gain the ability to see. Without BaaaaAAAHHhh, you can't see in a stage, and it is really frustrating to get by. I think it's impossible to get past without BaaaaAAAHHhh. Well, it is possible, but you'll need to be so good at this game, and you need to know it like the back of your hand to physically be able to do it. So whenever you do see boxes as well next to the BaaaaAAAHHhh box, my major bit of advice for you is go for the box after the BaaaaAAAHHhh first, because then you'll be able to just instantly go ahead and just shoot forward as much as possible. And those red eyes, they're rats. And if you get hit, let's not talk about if you get hit. Basically, you won't be able to see. And I was so lucky there. Basically, what I did was when I fell, I spun. And because the hitbox of the spin was luckily hit big enough, I managed to just boop the checkpoint box just before I died. So I died, and then I respawned like a few feet ahead of where I died. It's just so lucky. It's rare that stuff like that happens. It's awesome when it does though. But of course, like I said, just make sure you don't lose BaaaaAAAHHhh at any time. And be careful of all these guillotines, because they'll start flying back and forth. And overall, the stage isn't too hard. It's just tricky. You do need to know how to conserve your time. You need to maneuver through the level perfectly. But it's not a hard stage at all. It's just more, shall I say, scary? Of course, this stage by here, the Jaws of Darkness. Sounds like a Kingdom Hearts quote. It's actually not that bad. It's just another Lost Temple level. All you want to do is just the same things as in the other temple level. Just manage the platforming, dodge all the spiders, dodge all the snakes. Don't get killed by the snakes. And watch out, because you might have a couple of issues with depth perception. Especially in this one, because as you can see, there's lots of moving platforms that move around you. And there's loads of places you can jump in the future. So right in front of you. So basically, this is probably the worst stage you can possibly have for depth perception, especially with these spikes. These spikes, trust me, it takes a long time to actually be able to judge those effectively. Like, I'm serious, a 3DS port of this game would be so good. Not that it's not doable without 3D, but trust me, the lack of depth perception is really, really off-putting, especially by here. I mean, look how hard these jumps can be to make. And, whoa. I almost walked straight off. That would have been good. Whee! I didn't want to live anyway. Now that's Luigi's line of thinking. Oh, yes. Ugh. But anyway, I slipped completely. And by the very poor edit, but there you probably can tell, oh, I died a fair few times. Yeah, I died a fair few times. And basically, it's because of depth perception. I'm telling you, it's your worst enemy in this entire game. If you can't get somewhere, chances are you're either jumping too low or too far because you can't tell. But still, we're not too far away from the end of the game actually now, folks, because there's like 5 or 6 levels left. in the entire game. I'm not kidding. We're really touching the end. We're getting ready to take down Cortex. He's going down. But of course, just be wary of all the crushers. It's needless to say, the crushers will hurt you if they crush you. Really? I thought they would have just tickled someone. But the stage, very same old stuff now. It's gone to this point in the game now where we've pretty much seen everything the game has to offer apart from like the boss fights and maybe one level. So we've basically seen everything this entire game. All the themes, all the level types, we've seen them all now. But be careful anyway, because you can still quite easily die, because obviously now we're going to get introduced to even harder platforming challenges. We're going to be forced to do trickier jumps, like that jump with the spider there, which trust me is not fun. And this by here, which I despise. I despise this platforming section. I just can never get it right. No, I'll tell a lie, I do get it right, but it's really hard to judge the depth. As you see, I just went, oh, I want to die. And I just plopped down to my doom. It's not fun. But of course, like I said, not far off from beating. And this level as a whole actually isn't that long, if I remember correctly. It's like about 2 minutes long. Give or take, maybe more. And you guys might be wondering as well about some of these gems. I think I already explained this, but certain levels have certain coloured gems you can get. And you'll be able to use them to gain more boxes or go to certain areas in other levels. So if you want, you can get all the gems. I have used a check. Like I said, I've used a password, so now a lot of gems that were in previous levels I've already actually collected without wanting to, because that was just a side effect. And there's only one level where I'm going to show off a gem path, because it's a level that's actually coming up pretty soon. And the reason why I want to show this path off is basically because it's my live grinding area. Whenever I do play this game, I usually get I get to the one area, and it's where I go to get my lives, because if I'm running low lives, you can literally go into that one level, 5 seconds, get 30 lives. It's insane. But that's just something I might not even be seeing that until the next part. I could be wrong though. But of course, just continue. Crash Bandicoot does course again. As you can see, the bonus stages are actually becoming a little bit more common to actually access, but they're also be a little bit harder to get through as well, so they sort of make things a bit more fair in that regard. But this is basically, I think this might be the final one of these stages we get to see me do in the game. But be careful, because it's still very easy to fail, very easy to die, as you will see me do now. I didn't want to land on it, I wanted to just die, and it's all fine and dandy. But anyway, now we're just going to head on to the actual final segment of the level, final segment of the video. So I think there's not much more to this level. I think I get everything done just perfectly, but this crusher section by here, you do want to be as quick as physically possible. Basically, from the moment that you see the crushers go, you'll want to run through them, otherwise there's no hope in hell. You need to be perfectly timed. But with that, folks, that is the end of part 6, and I'll catch you all in the finale of Crash Bandicoot. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people, and I'll see you guys then when we take on the final battle of the game and save Torna and destroy Cortex. Thanks for watching, people. See you then. Bye!